Lately, many foreign vloggers have been traveling to Indonesia's rural tribes, visiting exotic tourist attractions and more. Indirectly, they are quite aware of the conservation of the environment on which their lives depend. For example, for them to cut down a wild tree or sago, there must be a separate reason for its use and benefits. It is not customary to take or exploit the forest excessively. The natural and simple life makes a number of local and international tourists want to know their lifestyle in the wilderness charm of Siberut National Park. Moreover, the history of this tribe's tattoos is quite legendary, so it is not uncommon for local and international tourists to stay at the Mentawai tribe's house for several days. We enjoyed this trip, which is a very adrenaline-challenging journey of many kilometers, accompanied by native Mentawai tribesmen guides who speak good English. To reach the islands, you can take a fast motorboat or ferry boat. The ferry takes an overnight or 12-hour trip from Padang City to Muara Siberut or Siberut Island. Arriving at Muara Siberut, tourists are required to rent a motorized sampan or pompong in Mentawai terms to go to several villages inhabited by indigenous Mentawai tribes. With this quite natural river, tourists are very happy to enjoy the journey that they are not used to. After the river trip ends, they must disembark and continue on foot in the middle of the muddy forest. The road is filled with mud and it is very difficult to tread. It was not uncommon for feet to get stuck in deep, muddy puddles. It takes about 5 to 6 hours to reach the big house, or uma in their terms.
Oh, so happy! What is your name?
Aluita.
Shalomo.
Hello.
Salomo. My name is Kara. Kara. Uh-huh.
And Nate. Salomo.
This uma is usually owned by a Sikire named Sikire. Sikire is a shaman or traditional elder. Sikire is usually characterized by a body colored with tattoos and bare-chested and wearing only kabit or pants made of bark. Sikire is an important figure. He has the skills to treat various types of diseases with herbs and medicinal plants. Their daily life is hunting using poisoned arrows and looking for sago, which is the staple food. The wife is responsible for fishing in the river, cooking sago, and farming. The bedroom is decorated with hundreds of unusual ornaments. There are decorations of the skulls of the animals they hunt. These are the skulls of wild boars and deer. A simple kitchen with a stone stove, pots, and behind it a shed with piles of firewood. There are also some accessories used for religious rituals along with gongs. While the men hunted, the women and children went to the river to catch fish. This activity is called manino. The best time to do manino is after it rains. The women usually wear skirts made of banana leaves. The way to catch fish in the style of the Mentawai tribe is to use a fish catcher called lege. Lege is made of rattan that is rounded and then given a net. Sago is made by grating the trunk of the sago tree. We woke up at 4 a.m. and saw this. They were shredding the sago tree, which is their source of life. They make their home food, furniture, and clothes all from this tree. After being shredded, the sago is then taken to a processing vessel to separate the sago from the sago trunk using a filter. To make food from sago, they add river water and do small stomping movements like a dance. Toke is a kind of caterpillar made from wood that has been soaked in the river for 4 months. The wood used is not ordinary wood, but special wood that can produce caterpillars. Usually we soak wood. Here the name is tumung. This wood is cut into short pieces of about 1/2 meter. He added that the tradition of eating these woodworms is usually done in the afternoon after returning from the fields.
There's so much movement. It's so squirmy. Oh gosh, the guts are coming out. Ready? I just have to do it. I have to do it. Here we go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Simple ko na.
Mm-hmm.
More?
No more.
Oh,
It's okay.
it's okay. It's okay. Ah, good.
Kaparut sago is one of Mentawai's traditional foods. Made from sago, kaparut means wrap. The use of sago as a staple food or a substitute for rice. This is often applied in the Mentawai Islands. Usually this food is applied during weddings.
You do it so fast and so pretty. This is a sagu trunk filled with sagu flour, wrapped inside.
The sago used in making kaparut sago is sago flour that has hardened and become brown in color. The process of making kaparut sago is quite simple. The sago is first strained so that it does not clot. Then after that, the sago flour is then wrapped in sago leaves. This food is made by burning, then wait for 1/4 of an hour by turning it over so that it does not burn. In the Mentawai community, kaparut sagu is a very special preparation. This food is also used as the staple food of the Mentawai people. Sekerai clothing is a cloth made from bark, or called kabit, or loincloth, that is usually worn by Sekerai. This clothing is made from the bark of the tarap tree. In the past, kabit was used by the men of the Mentawai tribe, but now kabit is only used by Sekerai, the leader of traditional ceremonies, and has a role as a healer in the Mentawai tribe. Making a loincloth is quite a long process, starting from choosing a good tree, looking at natural signs to determine when to take the wood, felling the tree, separating the bark from the trunk to coloring the bark from a tarap tree can get about 10 pieces of bark cloth. This is the ongoing tattoo making process. The motif of the tattoo is a picture of the land of origin, the prowess of a hunter, and their social status. As an adult Mentawai man, and especially as a sekerai, a person who is considered holy, silokui must be owned and carried when going to and returning from the fields. Silokui consists of arrows, where the type of arrow is adjusted to the animal to be hunted. The arrow shaft is made of orsi, a type of forest manau, while the arrowheads are made of inau or ribung stems called sihorat. Usually these arrowheads are used for hunting wild boar and deer. Makers or compounders of poison from arrows must concentrate fully. They are encouraged to fast, not eating and not drinking. After the arrows are smeared with poison, they are then dried in the sun, then smeared again and dried again. So the process is done many times. The more often it is done, the higher the level of poison at the tip of the arrow.
This poor monkey, the poison this stay inside. 1 minute, dead.
That's the review of the Mentawai tribe. If there is anything to add, please add it in the comments column. That's all for this video. Thank you.